Want to dive in deep and go ahead and say, good afternoon, Tonya. How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Oh, you know what? I always tell people if you can't tell, I must be slipping. And I'm going to dive right in because I'm excited to hear what it is that you will be sharing with our viewers and listeners on today. Introduce yourself. Tell us who you are. Tell us where you're from.
Well, my name is Tonya Williams, and I'm from Birmingham, Alabama.
Boy, you sure made that simple and quick, didn't you?
I sure did.
Well,
I'm
I'm excited to have you, and I'm going to say officially welcome to the GMAP Broadcast Network. We're honored to have you here. I do know that you have this awesome publication available. I want you to tell us a little bit about it before I start showing you off all over the screen. I want you to tell us a little bit about the publication that God placed in your spirit and in your heart.
Well, it's a book that I wrote. It's actually about myself. It's called The Best Version of Me. And in it, I share a lot of my testimony, life experiences, challenges, and just things that happened to me growing up through now. I share a little bit of biblical principles to it, as well as some instruction and some things that I use to help me get through those times. Being a life coach, I try to give them a little bit of tools how to become the best version of themselves. I kind of started a little bit late in ministry, and I really didn't have anyone to help develop me or kind of show me the ropes and what to do along the way. So I just really had to depend on God. And for so long, I didn't really see myself how God saw me. And I thought I had to be perfect and have it all together for Him to use me. But writing this book, it really just freed me up to be free for who I am. And really, it's really changed the way I saw myself.
Wow. Now, is this particular publication, is it something that is a follow up to a previously edited book and published book, or is this your first publication?
This is my first book.
Wow, really?
Yes.
Wow. Now, what is the root foundation? How did it all come about? What led you to go ahead and put this down in writing in a publication and release it to the people?
Well, I just got to be honest and just transparent. I really didn't know what to do, how to do it, or anything like that. I actually went to a conference that I spoke at, and someone actually prophesied over me, saying that there was a book in me. And, God had been speaking about me about another book, actually, not this one. And when COVID 19 hit, I thought, okay, well, I'm stuck inside. There's nothing to do. Maybe this is a time that, you know, life has just been so busy. We just go, go, go all the time. Maybe this is a time now that I'm sitting still and, I can hear what God's saying, that this is a great time to start writing, and that's what I did. And honestly, I didn't know what I was doing in writing it. I just said, okay, God, if I open myself up to the world for them to hear all my shame and everything I've ever been through, then, you tell me what to write, how to write it in a way that it will help somebody. So if it just helps one person, then I feel like my assignment was done.
Oh, absolutely. I am a firm believer of that as well, and I thank God for you sharing that. Now, of course, I know ultimately there's going to be quite a few viewers and listeners that may be even chimed in right now who they're going to want to show their love, their care, concern, and support to receiving a copy of this book. How would they go about it? What's the process in order to receive a copy of your current publication?
Well, it's currently on Amazon, so you can purchase it at Amazon. You can either search by my name, Tanya Williams, or the title of the book, The Best Version of Me. Or if they're on social media, they can feel free to inbox me, and then I can send them a copy as well.
Wow. Now, there's also going to be some people that says, "Hey, Tanya, I appreciate what you're doing. I appreciate the publication. I read it. It's great. But as you know, whether we like it or not, we're role models to someone around the world. Someone is on the outside looking in at you. Now, in that current situation, they're saying to themselves, I wonder what her plan is. If someone were to walk up to you today and say, okay, Tanya, I appreciate everything, but what's next for you? What would your response be?
Well, honestly, none of us really know what our next step is. For me, I'm just obedient, and I try to always keep that open relationship with God so I can hear Him clearly. And I want to be obedient to the things that He wants me to do. And I want to do things to His will. I can make plans all day, but just because I make them doesn't mean that's His will.
That's true. That's true. I mean, you have to follow his lead and his guide, of course. Totally in agreement with that. And of course, I am honored to say that you are currently a part of the GMAP Broadcast Network family as a featured author and book publication. We are grateful to have you. And of course, we always want to encourage people to stop by the GMAP Broadcast Network. And of course, go to our bookstore. You will see, as you see on the GMAP Broadcast Network site, a copy of Tonya's current publication. Click on that publication. It'll take you directly to where you need to go to get more intimate information about the young lady, about the author, about the book. Now, of course, I know that you're also involved in quite a few other things in ministry in general, quote unquote. Tell us about it.
Yes, so just to give you a little bit of background about myself, I initially went to school and was heavily in ministry in church. But as I was going through school, I kept hearing God say to me, outside four walls. And I really didn't know what that even meant. But I just kept asking him, okay, what does that mean? And, oftentimes God just gives us one piece of the puzzle at a time. But the more I started to pray, I just kept doing the things that he gave me to do. And one day he dropped in my spirit a podcast. And I was just like, okay, maybe this is what he was saying to me. He was saying outside four walls. So I thought, well, maybe that's what he's talking about. I didn't know anything about a podcast or how to do one. So I just really had to Google it and figure it out on my own. And so it's been about a year now. I have my own podcast. It's called Fierce, Favored, and Spiritually Grounded, which is my own little out-of-the-box ministry where I talk about real-life situations and to help people. And a lot of the discussions are things that the church normally wouldn't talk about. As I continued to go on through school, then I heard him say life coach. And to be quite honest, I did not even know what a life coach was. I had never heard of it. And so again, I began to research and I was like, okay, this might be what he's talking about outside four walls. I can still reach people and apply that biblical principle in a way. My husband is actually an entertainer. And so I find myself in places that a lot of people would not normally go into church. And so this is a way that I can reach those people because they would just come up to me and start talking to me. But when I told them I was in ministry, the first thing they would do was back away from me. So I found being a life coach, I'm able to still help those people.
Yes, yes, yes. And speaking of that podcast, I want you to sit tight. I'd love to show this little video clip that I was able to find and steal off of YouTube concerning your podcast. Stay right there. We'll be back with you right after this on the GMAP Broadcast Network, okay?
Okay.
Boy, oh boy, oh boy. That, like I said, you are a young lady. When I met you and start talking to you, you are always straight to the point. You don't, I guess you can say, draw out your answers, your responses to things and people. You let people know what's on your mind, how you feel, and we're grateful for that. I'm honored to have you here on the GMAP Broadcast Network with your new release. And of course, for those that don't know, I want you to show your support to Tonya Williams. And of course, she is a certified life coach and book author. Take a look at this real quick. I love this video because it says nothing except the best version of me. Tonya, you may not have seen that, but I showed a little clip of your book promo on the GMAP Broadcast Network, and I'm always overwhelmed to continue to present you and who you are to people around the world. I'm honored to have you as a part of the GMAP Broadcast Network family. Now, I know also there's going to be a lot of people that's out there chimed in. They're going to want to find out how they can touch base with you. How can they connect with you? Is there an email, website, phone number, management? If you don't mind, share that information with our viewers and listeners.
But I have all of that. Of course, they can check me out on social media. I will follow them back. I love to support people no matter what they do. So don't be surprised if I follow you and I share your stuff and whatever you're doing. But you can check me out. I'm on Facebook under Tonya Williams Life Coach. I'm under spiritually underscore grounded on Instagram. If you would like to email me, you can email me at tanyawilliams01@gmail.com. And of course, if you would like to schedule a life coaching session with me, you can check me out under mymentor.live.
Ooh, I told you, right to the point. Don't hesitate to share that information. I'm going to draw a scenario for you, and I want you to respond accordingly. I'm going to put together what I call my megatorium. Now, my megatorium is going to consist of the T.D. Jakes Potter's House and the Joel Osteen Auditorium put together.
Okay.
My megatorium has 50,000 seats in it. My megatorium has 50,000 seats in it occupied by young women who has been through the challenges, the trials, tribulations very similar to yours. And only you know what those are. We had the honor of introducing you to the podium. My first and last question to you would be, what would you say to them?
Well, I would tell them, don't be afraid to gamble on yourself. You know, the things that you have gone through is not always about, it's the lessons that you've learned to pass on to help somebody else. And the things that you've gone through is built you to be who you are today. And sometimes we compare ourselves to other people and we think that, you know, our lives are supposed to look like theirs when God has created us and designed us to be unique. And the things that have happened to us are going to be the very thing that He uses to use as our platform. So I want to encourage you to just continue to be the best version of yourself because He made you unique, not to be like anybody else. And sometimes we get caught up in thinking that, you know, we're supposed to mimic someone else. But whatever you are doing or whatever you've gone through, make what you've been given the best that you've been given. And, you know, always invest in yourself. Don't be afraid to take chances. And you will be surprised. Each day that goes by, you'll either look back and you'll wish you had started, or you'll look back and you'll be proud of how far you've come.
Wow. Amazingly enough, you are absolutely correct. And I know that you have encouraged many people around the world. I know that you have just encouraged 50,000 seats in our megatorium, and you can use that if you like. And of course, I'm grateful for that. I'm super grateful for that. Now, I'm going to ask you this, if you don't mind. As you continue to move forward on your journey and you continue doing things like your podcast, has anything along the lines of television production, radio shows, television appearances, talk shows, has that ever crossed your mind?
Not really. You know, my husband is also in radio, and like I said, he's an entertainer. I've really always been behind the scenes. I wouldn't say I would say no to it. But for me, I'm more about helping people and being an impact more than anything else. But again, I've never really given any thought to it.
Wow. Well, you know, I did hear you mention podcasts. How can people go about listening into your podcast, and how often is it aired?
It drops every Monday at 5 a.m. That's Central Standard Time. You can check it out anywhere on your Google device. On Apple iTunes. It's also on Spotify. It's on Podchaser. So just about on any platform that has podcasts, it'll be there.
Now,
And it's
is this a visual podcast?
actually it's just a you can just listen to it right now, but I do post videos on YouTube, which I like to call like the podcast remix. So I take some of my favorite ones and I shorten them down a little bit and just drop some nuggets on there. So for some people, they like the visual, where others would just like to run to the grocery store and listen to it.
Right. Oh, wow. Well, I am again overwhelmed with joy over the fact that you have allowed us to be a part of your journey. And of course, for those that don't know, we are preparing to launch our brand new broadcast network platform. And of course, Tonya Williams, our current guest and book author, is one of the featured authors and book publications on our brand new platform. You will be able, for those that are patiently waiting for me to hit the launch button, that will take place within the next 24, 48 hours. I'm that close to disseminating our brand new broadcast network platform to people around the world. And of course, once that takes place, we are going to be overwhelmed at inviting you back. We want to find out a little bit more in detail on how things are going with your current publication. And of course, if I'm not mistaken, you are planning to write more books in addition to this one. Is that right?
Yes.
Do you have any plans, or is anything already in process?
Well, I have been pondering and started working on a journal to go with this book. So maybe you could possibly use it for small groups, because there is so much that I do tell, that I think it's a lot of things that women and young girls go through and struggle with throughout their life. So I am going to have a journal to go with this, and then I have started working on some other projects down the line.
Amen. Now, you are in ministry, and of course, I'm sure that God has placed some things in your spirit for you to reach out to those that you have been ordained to reach. How is it that people can go about connecting with you concerning your ministry?
Again, if they want to contact me through social media, that's fine, or they can email me at tanyawilliams01@gmail.com. And I'm always a listening ear. I'll always be available to help anybody that I can help. I do have a mentoring program that's called Grace for young girls ages 10 and up. And the Grace stands for Girls Rising Above Challenging Experiences. So I will always help with that.
Hmm. And your ministry now, is it on the go? Are you in a physical location? Is it online, virtual, or is it a ministry where God has simply placed in your spirit to reach out to people one person at a time?
Well, right now I just do it through social media, where I may drop nuggets of the day and things like that. With my mentoringship, I don't charge for that. It's really just people inbox me and would like me to help their young girls with whatever situation and things like that. So it's out of the box ministry. It's not something where I'm inside four walls. It's kind of like my own traveling ministry. I take it wherever I go.
Woo! Well, my wheels are turning because I am just gonna be overwhelmed to invite you to be a part of the GMAP Broadcast Network during our new season, to have you come on and in some way, shape, or form minister to the people around the world on a consistent basis via the GMAP Broadcast Network. Just so you know, uh,
Okay.
I have information that is coming your way. Of course, for those that don't know, you will be able to see this conversation in its entirety on YouTube, on Facebook, going to be aired on our Comcast cable broadcast, which airs every Wednesday at 9 p.m. Central Standard Time, Channel 17, and it goes into over 1 million homes. And we're excited to know that Tonya is going to also be a part of that. So I tell you, can't thank you enough for allowing God to place in your spirit to let us be a part of the journey that He's placed you on. We thank God for you. We appreciate you. And we are going to be inviting you back because we want you to minister to the people and reach out to as many as you can in every corner of the world, okay?
Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
Oh, please. You don't have to thank me. To God be the glory. I kid you not.
Amen.
So again, we thank God for you joining us. Before we let you go, we just want you to have the last words, your final thoughts, and please, by all means, be sure to include your contact information and how people can one last time go out and show their support by purchasing a copy of your current publication.
Well, you can contact me at TonyaWilliams01@gmail.com or again on Facebook or Instagram under Tonya Williams. And I'm on Instagram at spiritually_grounded. And you can purchase the book at Amazon.com. And I just would like to encourage you guys that no matter what season that you're in, it's never too late to start something new.
Woo! You said a mouthful right there. And again, we appreciate you. We want you to continue to allow God to use you. Be blessed and continue to be a blessing to others as you have, okay?
Thank you. You too.
We look forward to talking to you again soon, and you have a wonderful evening, and we'll keep you posted on when you'll be able to share this conversation in its entirety to all of your family members, your friends, all of those that want to support you, your followers. We're going to make sure that we have this conversation available to them as soon as possible, okay?
Okay. Thank you so much.
God bless you, and we shall speak soon.
Okay. Have a great day.